I completed my BTech Civil Engineering at NIT Trichy on 2018 to 22.
Mm-hmm.
And right after my college, I joined Deloitte as a technical analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So, my current situation is like, my before joining Deloitte, I thought that I could, prepare for some exams alongside working, so that I won't be sitting simply and preparing for exams, right? Like I will have a job and then prepare side by side. I will be able to prepare for some exams or hires, right? So after joining Deloitte and after getting into my project work, I got to realize that I can't properly invest much time on my preparation and do quality preparation. So I have decided that to quit Deloitte now, and rightly I'm in a dilemma that on what exact path should I choose for the future.
So you graduated from NIT Trichy in 2022, did
Yes,
civil engineering,
yes,
and then you immediately joined Deloitte.
yes.
What do you do at Deloitte?
I'm a technical analyst. So my current job is to, I mind business rules from old COBOL and JCL languages. Like usually the companies which were pre-existing, like before 1970s, 80s, that period, those companies were using COBOL and JCL as their main programming language.
Mm-hmm.
So what is my job is to convert that old programming language to new advanced programming languages. So basically,
Okay.
modernization of their applications.
Okay. And where are
So
you
yeah,
based? Which city?
I'm my native city is Madurai, Tamil Nadu. Currently, I'm working in Bangalore right now.
You're in Bangalore. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many hours do you end up spending at work?
Um, I would start my day at 10 and end my day at 8 or 9 every day. So pretty much 11 hours, 12 hours every day.
Okay. So that's 10 to 11 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you like your work?
Um, do I like my work? For now, I'm able to withstand it, but I don't know. Like if I'm taking this for in the long run, means I think I'll get bored because every day pretty much I'm doing the same work every day. So you know, like previously I had a thought of even writing CAT exams, getting an MBA, and coming back to the IT sector. But
Hmm.
as far as I've seen my seniors who already did an IIM MBA and are working here, are also doing the same type of work which I'm doing right now, with a better pay scale, obviously. But the work is same, right? So I don't see the difference of the MBA here.
Why UPSC? What is your excitement about UPSC?
Yeah. So right from my college third year, I kind of lost interest in my core subject, civil engineering. So since my both my parents are from the government sector, I know what perks they are getting, and getting a prestigious job is that's different, right? So I thought government preparing for government jobs was always one of my options.
Hmm.
So yeah, we joined Deloitte itself. Like I was having preparing for CAT was one option, preparing for government exams was one option, and I was like, okay, let's see how this corporate job goes, and then let's decide what to choose. So since that option was right with me since from the beginning, so I am opting that out now.
Hmm. And within UPSC, what do you have some interest? Do you want to do IAS? Do you want to do foreign services? Do you want to do like what
Uh,
you do?
yeah,
Police.
I'm aiming for IAS. So,
IAS. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And any reason for that, or it's just prestigious?
Yeah, since my father is a police officer, I know what's the disadvantages of being a police officer. So IAS was my first thing.
Okay. Okay. So you know the disadvantages of police services.
Yeah,
So you're saying no police.
not exactly police services, like the work-life balance of a police officer. I know a bit. Like I usually see my father every day, right from a childhood. So
Right. Fair
yeah,
enough. Fair enough. And how are you planning to prep? Like, uh, were you
yeah,
planning coaching, self prep? What were you planning?
yeah. I have planned to join Vajram and Ravi Institute at Delhi. So the admissions are going to happen for the July batch. It's going to happen next month at the starting. So
Hmm.
I plan to apply on that.
Hmm.
So before that, I need to see out if any better options are there in hires. So according to that, I'll be deciding on which path I should carry on.
And how much do you know about the UPSC entrance journey? How many people apply? How many get
Yeah,
seats are there? How many get into IAS?
yeah. So yeah, I have done a research about this. Like usually 15 lakhs people apply. On prelims, 15,000, around 15,000 people will clear it, and at last, around 1,000 people will get postings on IAS, IPS. Yes.
So, what percentage people clear it?
Um, almost 0.1, 0.2%.
Right.
Yeah,
Now, as compared to that, if you continue working in the corporate world,
yeah,
what percentage people become managers, senior managers, VPs, directors?
yeah. Definitely more than that.
So the probability of success, whether you like it, this kind of success or not, or whether you consider it to be comparable to IAS or not, is a very personal call. So I can't tell you
Yeah,
that. But the probability of success is greater on this side,
yeah,
right? Because the pyramid is like this, right? The people who come in, then some people go up, some people go up, some people go up.
yeah,
Whereas in UPSC, the pyramid is like this.
yeah,
A lot of people enter, but very few people really make it.
yeah,
I mean, 15 lakh to 15,000 to 1,500 to, like, it's a really small number in the end.
yeah,
And you've been through the engineering journey. So I'm sure you've done the JE and, uh,
yeah,
um, VIT, and I don't know which are BitSat, and I don't know which all exams you wrote.
yeah.
So, it is not just your prep,
Mm. The
right?
combination also plays a role. Yeah,
See, it is when you have such a large number, 15 lakh people applying, right? 1.5 million people are applying, and 900 people have to get in,
okay,
right? Then it is not just dependent on how smart is Abhishek.
okay,
It is also dependent on, of course, how much effort you put in, how capable you are, and your preparation and all that plays a big role. But also luck plays a role, right?
yeah,
Because
surely, yeah,
15 lakh may say you have to be that small number, so luck will play a
yeah,
role.
yeah,
I'm not demotivating you. I'll be very
yeah. I
happy
get
to
it.
be an IS officer, and by the time I'll also be old, so I can come to you for some help.
Yeah,
But all I'm trying to say is that it's a journey where success rate is very low,
yeah,
right? I know people who do multiple attempts, first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, they keep going, right? And of
mm,
course, then all those limits come in. But sometimes I wonder that if the same person was, going to put in the same effort in another journey where there is higher probability of success,
yeah,
right? Is it not better? And then my experience has shown me that there is no perfect answer,
okay,
right? On one side, you have higher probability of success, but it's different kind of success,
yeah,
right? It's the corporate world where perhaps there is a good amount of money available.
yeah,
There is also a different kind of work environment available.
okay,
You largely work in glass houses, corporate tech
mm,
parks. You go on site. You will travel across the world a lot more. You will work with more urban people. You will work with engineers, MBAs, rub shoulders with corporate bigwigs.
mm,
And the corporate world is a place which is continuously growing
yeah,
and evolving. I just want you to recognize that sometimes the grass is just greener in the neighbor's garden, right? UPSC just seems greener.
Okay.
But the first time after you put in all their effort, if you don't make it,
Mm-hmm.
then suddenly it's a lot of rejection and all that.
Yeah.
Still, you're already standing on grass.
Yeah.
Whichever grass you are, whichever garden you're standing on, that grass looks a little faded. It looks like there are patches where there is no grass. It looks like it's,
Mm-hmm.
not doing too well. Whereas that UPSC grass looks very green.
Yeah.
But it's finally up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't. So to some extent, I understand why you want to do UPSC. Both parents are in the government. Father is a police officer. Mother is a government teacher. So you've seen the benefits of a government job,
Yeah.
right? But you've also seen that your dad, okay, he was in police and he might not be in police. But IS officers are very busy too,
Yeah.
right? IS, IPS, IFS, they're all very busy. Now, so corporate world, I told you, it's a reasonably predicted path of progress.
Yeah.
If you are smart enough, there is a reasonably good probability of you going outside India for exposure, for projects, for living, for working, for migrating.
Yeah.
Do you want to or not is your call, but a lot of interesting opportunities can come your way in that corporate world. Okay.
Okay.
The downside of the corporate world is that it's also a hectic space,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's high pressure, a lot of work. Some people say there is politics in companies, but there is politics everywhere,
Yeah.
right? There can't be more politics than in politics.
Yeah.
And as an IS officer, you'll get closer to that,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Um, so I think you should think through before you make this move, because I believe you're in a good company, in a good role. You've come from a good college. NIT Trichy is a very recognized, respected, good brand to come from. Are you happy about your college?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with
Do you
college.
still regret IIT Kharagpur nahi hua, bits Pilani I could not get through? Do you still feel like that, or you are happy with NIT Trichy?
Yeah, I did try for JEE Advanced, but I was not able to crack it. But again, like while joining NIT Trichy, okay, I thought that NIT Trichy is a really good college. NIT ranking, it's the number one NIT. But like after completing NIT, other than the engineering knowledge, I developed as a person. So interacting with different people with different cultures was a very good experience for me. So I could grow as a person better.
That's great, no? So you went to a good
Yeah.
place, grew as a person, got your degree. And so the two, three things that good college should offer you is, one, be a door opener. NIT was a good door opener. You got into Deloitte. B, help you develop your self-confidence further. You seem like a reasonably confident guy. So they seem to have done a good job. C, give you enough learning outside the classroom. Inside the classroom, everybody has learning.
Yeah.
And that also you seem to have had. You met with diverse set of people. You grew as a person. So clearly, it has given you a lot, right? And
Yeah.
it's a good brand. Trust me.
Yeah.
NIT is a very good brand. So all in all, I think you're in a great place. Now let's move. Now let's
Okay.
look at the UPSC space,
Yeah.
right? Now, A, to do prep for UPSC.
Mhm.
One, of course, we understand that lakhs and lakhs of people prep for UPSC, and they prep for years,
Yeah.
right? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And they prep for so many years because the percentage success is very low,
Yeah.
right? Why do still people go after it? I believe, and I'll be honest with you, I've traveled a lot to these UPSC coaching centers, to places from where a lot of UPSC officers come, like Bihar, UP.
Okay.
And I believe a lot of people are driven towards UPSC because it has a prestige attached to it.
Okay.
Social recognition is attached to it,
Yeah.
right? If you tomorrow are the CEO of Deloitte in India, there is nothing that 20 years later IAS will give you in perks. Power, yeah, that is a different kind of power. But the perks they give you will will not be comparable to the perks that the Deloitte CEO will have,
Yeah.
right? So, so why do people go after it? People go after it because there is a lot of prestige attached to it. If you become an IS officer, everybody claps and say, "Wow, Abhishek is now an IS officer." It's a powerful role, right?
Mm.
IS is the civil services is one of the only things that puts you in the corner office from day one,
Yes.
even if it's a small place. It might be a village, it might be a district, it might be a town. You are the big guy,
Yeah.
right? So that's another pro of that. It does have uh, 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 a related power that comes with it, right? The con is that it is not, it doesn't, government jobs don't pay too much,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like doing after doing all that, you will get a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah.
B, government jobs come with their own bureaucracy.
Okay.
And that better than me. You've grown up in a family where your dad is in the police and
Yeah.
the government, but they might not be sharing as much with you, so you should have a frank conversation with them. But B, also a senior IS officer who's a principal secretary, or working with the government, with the minister very closely, and all that, in a country like India, will have to face a lot of politics and bureaucracy.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't matter which party is in the ruling in that state or in that country.
Yeah.
There is politics,
Yeah.
right? So even if you crack UPSC, even if you become a top IAS officer, it comes with its own set of challenges.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And soon the grass doesn't look as green,
Yeah.
right? A bigger challenge, however, is to crack it,
Yeah.
right? So you join this coaching center, and you are into coaching, and there is online coaching and offline coaching and hybrid coaching, and you said you are planning to do coaching in Delhi.
Yeah.
Why Delhi?
Um, I chose Delhi because I could be isolated from my relatives, from my family, and any other sort of distractions I could get if I study here, right? So I could only concentrate on my studies.
Yeah. And how many years are you willing to do it if you don't make it in the first attempt?
Like the coaching is for the okay. You're asking how many times I'm going to attempt.
Yeah.
So yeah, for now my plan is to prepare for the first year, given first attempt and then second attempt. And if I don't clear the second attempt, means my backup is to try out the other government exams such as SSC exams, and my last option is to opt for the TNPSC, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission exams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, in the option basket, it is largely government jobs.
Yeah.
So overall, the engagement with politicians or bureaucrats, or the bureaucracy that you face with, doesn't scare you.
Yeah. But again, I haven't experienced it yet, right? So for now, as far as I have knowledge about the job that I'm going to do, I'm fine with it. I know I have the confidence that I can be able to work with it. So
The government job.
yeah.
So I'm saying there is no doubt that as you become a senior IS officer, you will need to deal with politicians.
Yes. Yeah.
You will also need to deal with the politics that comes with it and the bureaucracy that comes with it.
Yes.
And my question is that is not scaring you. That doesn't worry you. Is that a worry? Or you're saying it's fine, I can deal with it?
Yeah. I can. I think I can deal with it.
Okay. Okay. That's fine then. So that's one. The second is that the fact that it's not sitting in a suave tech park with glass buildings, and it's not sitting in air conditioned rooms all the time. It is not
Yeah.
traveling to the US and Germany and UK for on-site projects.
Yeah.
It is not working with people who are coming from IITs and IIMs and NITs and BITS, and that's that demographic of
Yeah,
students
yeah,
you have grown up with for the last few years.
yeah.
You will be, depending on what role you take, you could be dealing with a very different profile.
If I did my BTech in CSE means I would have some programming language, that type of basement, for the corporate job. But for this analyst position which I'm in, I prepare for only 2 or 3 months. That some base level of programming and some machine learning and concepts. So that's not convincing me that I have prepared this much for this to come to this position. But in government job, I could even in my college I was the class rep for 6 semesters out of 8 semesters. So I could deal with a different variety of people, and you know that's the main thing I learned from my college. So I personally I think that that trait could help me in government job, and I like to do that. So I'm preferring government jobs over
Okay, okay.
corporate.
Sure. And I'll repeat, I'll remind you that I'm having this conversation not because I have a preference for one over the other.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I want to brainstorm with you so you get clarity on why do you want to do one versus the other, and you
Yeah.
don't regret later,
Yeah, okay, I get it.
right? You should not regret later to say, I wish somebody had told me this.
Yeah, okay.
Because look, there is no perfect answer
Yeah,
in life. Is Deloitte a better job? Or is an IS officer's job in Tamil Nadu better? There is no perfect answer, right? You
yeah,
can, for one person, one is better. For the other person, the other is better.
yeah,
Right? It's like, is living in India better? Is living in the US better? So there is no perfect answer for that.
yeah.
So the last thing I want to touch upon is that you rightly said that if you continue in Deloitte, you will need to learn perhaps more languages. You will need to uh, re define yourself, upskill yourself constantly so that you can do these things. And that's
Yeah,
absolutely right. Um, on the flip side, it can also be seen as learning for yourself and growth for yourself. Well, in the next 1 year, you don't have time for distractions.
yeah,
So, I mean, clearly, this is like meditation. Coaching for UPSC, prep for coaching UPSC is like meditation.
yeah.
Remove all distractions and just focus.
Sure.
Um, and I've been praising Deloitte and the corporate world, but the reality is that UPSC is very, very good, right? If you can crack and become an IS officer and be an honest IS officer, there is huge potential in the country. You can bring a lot of change. At your age, you've got a lot of service, uh, years of service left in which you can make the country a better place, no doubt about it. So it's great that you are thinking of going on that line. But yeah, there is significant cost. It is not as much as 8 lakhs, but it's a reasonable amount, right?
Yeah,
It's not equal to what you're earning right now, but it's
yeah.
almost
Considerably
70%.
bigger amount. Yeah,
It's a big amount. Your parents are paying partly, you are paying partly, as I've understood.
yeah,
And after coaching for a year, if you're not able to crack it next
hmm,
year, then what's your plan? Will you then get back into the corporate job, or you said you will apply for other government jobs?
yeah. So
Now,
first year I'll be, yeah, yeah. First year I'll be staying at Delhi and preparing, attending the coaching and preparing for the exam. So if I don't clear it on the first attempt, I think I'll be back to Chennai or Madurai, and revise the subjects and prepare for the next uh, prelims.
hmm.
So if I don't clear the second attempt as well, I'll be repeating the preparation, and I'll be taking more exams, not only UPSC. So for now, for the first 2 years, my primary target is going to be UPSC.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. That's fine. Um, have you gone through any sort of career aptitude test, psychometric assessment to evaluate your suitability for these kind of jobs?
Um, no, not yet.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's not a must do. Um, okay. If you ask me based on this conversation, I think you should go for it. I mean, most people who go for it don't have 50% of clarity that you have,
Okay.
even 30%. So you have a lot of clarity. You're quitting a good job to go for this coaching, but you've thought through, you know exactly how much money it will cost, you know, where will you do the coaching, you know, how many hours the classes will be. So you're not going with a unnecessarily rosy picture in your mind.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be a grind. The next 1 year, you can forget, you know, a lot of other things. Are there any other questions that you have for me?
Um, yeah. I am actually set to this path, but my parents insisted that whether I could go on for a hires on data science or any other stuff, so that I could land a job in corporate, but in a different field, not in a technical point of view,
Hmm.
but in a management side or in the blooming data science field,
Sure.
which doesn't involve that much of programming, right? So
You can, of course, Abhishek, you can. Like I said, um, in the corporate world, you will realize that what you study and what you do
mhm.
is usually not the same. Second point, what you start off your career with and what you're doing 10 years later is usually not the same.
Yeah.
So it's almost guaranteed that you will move into something else.
Okay.
Okay. What will that be is difficult to say because it will depend on several things. What opportunities come your way? Which opportunities do you grab? Which
Yeah.
opportunities are offered to you? But eh, again, data being such a big thing, data science and analytics being such a big thing, there is a good probability at some space in some phase you will rub shoulders with data.
Yeah.
Now, at that stage, if you're interested in it, you learn more about it. You tell your boss, I want to get into this team. You get into that team, get exposure, grow there. Right? It's also possible in 2 years from now, you move into a data analytics team. And in 10 years later, you move into something else because you realize data is not the big thing anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you know it better than me that the world is changing at a very rapid pace.
Yeah.
And again, going back to the corporate world, that's one of the strengths that they offer.
Yeah.
In terms of IS officer, the way an IS officer operated in 1957 is not dramatically different from how he operates today.
Yes.
I mean, of course, there is a difference. It's improving, but it's not dramatically different,
Yeah.
right? Where corporate world is completely different.
Yes. I get it.
It's a different world. It's a different ocean today. Um, then the question is, how do you move into data science? If you want to move into analytics and data, one option is, like I said, there is all the probability if you have the patience that at Deloitte itself you will get those opportunities. You've been with Deloitte for how long, Abhishek?
Um, Coming June 27th, I complete my 1 year at Deloitte.
Okay, so 1 year is over. So it is very possible that you by the time you complete 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? 2 years, 3 years, in that period, you will come across some opportunities where you can learn it and move into a different team, which is using some data analytics tools and doing a lot of data crunching and all that. That's one
Okay.
possibility. The second possibility is that I would say at least work here for 2 years and then quit and then go do an MBA,
Mm-hmm.
right? So after completing 2 years, apply for MBA. And after completing 3 years, go do an MBA and do an MBA and come back. And then you automatically will come back into a mid management role.
Yeah.
So that's the other way, which you can very easily do. It's very possible. You're academically smart. You will crack a good MBA school in India or outside India, um, and then that's the other opportunity. But even without that, is MBA necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely helpful, but it's not necessary depending on your situation. If people can't afford it or don't have the time for it or whatever, then it's not necessary. You can continue working here. You can either continue with Deloitte or move to another company later. And like I said, Deloitte is a very big name. So an EY, KPMG, another, Accenture will come and grab you. You will, if you stay with this company, there is no doubt that as long as you do well, you will get some opportunities to travel, go to other countries. They will give you some growth. All that is bound to happen. And in those opportunities also you will grow, but you will also get opportunities to learn,
Mhm.
right? Either by moving into another team or doing online courses,
Yeah.
right? So if you decide to go down this path and you say, okay, I will spend another year here, then go for an MBA or whatever, I would say even in that year, stay signed on for an online course in the data analytics space constantly,
Okay.
right? Go on Udemy, Coursera, EDX. There are so many of these. I mean, IITs are conducting courses. So find credible sources where you can find courses for data analytics, if that's
Okay.
the space you want to get into, data science, data analytics, and keep doing those courses. Several of them are free, several of them are not very expensive or some cost, but equip yourself with that knowledge.
Mhm.
Along with that, figure out either through your immediate boss or a colleague where in your office does the data analytics team sit,
Okay.
and go meet them. And
Mhm.
say, guys, I mean, you're a smart guy. Say, I'm Abhishek, NIT Trichy. This is what I've been doing. I'm really fascinated about data, and I know everybody is these days. So, can I just take you out for a coffee? Can I meet you for lunch? I'll pay for your lunch. I just want to get a download on what do you guys do,
Mhm.
right? Just tell me what do you guys do? How do you do? If I want to get into the space, what should I learn?
Okay.
People, it's funny that people will love it and want to give you all the information just because you're asking,
Okay.
right? It's strange that we think people are really busy and why will they share,
Mhm.
but everyone feels good when you take interest in their job, right? So if you go to them and say, this is my background and I'm also in the same company and I'm really interested in your area, can you give me some guidance, can you give me some insights, tell me about a day in your life, can I on my I'll take a day off and just come sit next to you and see what you do,
Mhm.
depending on how warm that person becomes, how comfortable
Yeah.
you become with that person, and just pick all those learnings, and and that will also open some route for you.
Yeah. I will get a different perspective.
You will get a different perspective, and you might actually fall in love with that job,
Yeah.
right? And that guy will tell you that, okay, actually on the Deloitte internal learning management system, we have some courses.
Mhm.
Go do that. Or why don't you go on EDX and pick up this course? I'll send you a link. I used to do that course.
Okay.
So equip yourself with knowledge and network,
Okay.
right? These are all people who are in the data space. They will know people in KPMG in data space, in some other companies in McKinsey in data space,
Mhm.
right? So you have a LinkedIn account, I'm sure,
Yeah.
right? So connect with all these people on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I mean, the reality is data is a huge space and you can make a great career in data too, for sure. It'll come back to which side do you want to go,
Mhm.
right? And that's the reason I did the whole conversation with you about Deloitte versus UPSC, because I don't want you to regret later,
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
right? And on the other side, Abhishek, you must remember that there are no perfect answers.
Mhm.
Never get a perfect answer on should you
Yeah.
stay in Deloitte or go and do UPSC coaching. There are pros and cons to both. So once you make a decision, then you stick to it. So for some period, for 1 year, 2 years, whatever, set a goal and go after it.
Yeah.
You can always review your goal. You can always say, okay, am I on the right path? Should I change something? But don't overthink it.
Okay. Sure.
My principle of success that I tell everyone is think less, do more,
Okay.
right? Because over analysis leads to paralysis. Then you can't function.
Yeah.
So be careful about that.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, again, like I said, if you want a psychometric assessment, you want to see which one is more suitable, all that is possible in the world. All
Okay.
those things exist. But it's up to you. If you say, I've already made a decision, then it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what else? Any other questions?
Um. Yeah, I think I'm good now, Neeraj.
You're good, Abhishek?
Yeah.
I'm excited, man, because either ways, you're going to do well.
Okay.
If you stay in Deloitte, great company, you'll grow, you'll learn some things about data. At some stage, you might do MBA, might not do MBA. Either ways, you're going to grow.
Yeah.
If you don't stay in Deloitte, go for UPSC coaching. I'm an optimist.
Hmm.
I'm going to believe you'll crack it. Like top 10 ranks in UPSC, uh, choice posting. And then one day you'll message me and say, remember, now I'm the principal secretary here. So if you need any help, let me know. And then I'll be some old guy and I'll call you and say, I need a hospital bed somewhere. You'll help me. Yeah. No, great, Abhishek. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Okay.
All the best. My very best wishes. If you need any help, any guidance, any brainstorming, any discussion, message me and we can do that.
Sure, 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 Neeraj.
But I'm confident you will do well because you have clarity of thought. Largely, you have clarity of thought. So don't overthink it.